Senate Armed Services Committee are due to hold a UFO hearing, and this comes from Ross Coulthart over on his Twitter page who shared this, and it is an article from The Hill talking about exactly that. So we're going to take a look at it today because this could be absolutely enormous and really give a voice to armed servicemen and women who have seen alleged UFOs and crafts that they can't quite explain. So over on The Hill, this was shared yesterday, I believe, at the time of recording. So it says, Senate Armed Services Committee to hold a UFO hearing. The Senate Armed Services Committee is looking to hold a UFO hearing after the November election. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand's DNY office confirmed to The Hill. The hearing announcement follows an increase in sightings of what is officially known as UAP, including purportedly near Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana. Which, of course, if you didn't already see the video that went out a couple of days ago, I did talk about this particular UFO sighting, which was incredibly strange. Highly recommend you go and check that out if you haven't already. It would also come more than a year after the explosive House hearing in July 2023, where 3 former Pentagon officials testified about their experiences with or sightings of UAP, warning for the lack of information on the phenomena could pose national security risks. Of course, that was mostly led by David Grush after his explosive News Nation interview. Now, Gillibrand, who in 2022 helped start the Pentagon's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, otherwise known as ARROW, created to assess reports of UAP, wants to progress update on the office's work. Quote, "It's a priority for me. I think it's very important that we continue to make things publicly available," Gillibrand earlier this month told Matt Laszlo's DC Ask a Poll podcast. She wants a progress report on how many unidentified aerial phenomena, otherwise known as UAP, we've assessed and analysed, and for the office to give examples of what we have identified and give examples of what we haven't identified. Now that's really good, because it's one thing to get an update on what you have identified, weather balloons, drones, but then to get something that you haven't been able to identify and actually show footage of that, that's a different ballgame, because that could really be where the tea is. Gillibrand, who chairs the subcommittee under the Senate Armed Services Committee on Emerging Threats and Capabilities, added that she wants ARROW to continue to build credibility. That's something else which is incredibly important, because at the time of recording, there is no credibility with ARROW. Ever since they submitted that Eglin UFO case and said that it was, and we basically found out that they were lying about it, there's been no credibility for ARROW whatsoever. If you don't know about that case, basically there was a UFO sighted in Eglin by the Air Force Base by servicemen and women. They detailed exactly what they saw. They even sketched out images of what they saw. ARROW got their hands on it, investigated the situation, and claimed that they were weather balloons, right? Literally just said that they were weather balloons and there was nothing wrong with it. And in their report, they filed images of, and basically said, this is all the information we've got on it. Tim Burchett didn't believe that that was everything they had on it. So what he did was he filed a Freedom of Information Act against the case. That was then, off the back of that, the Freedom of Information Act was rejected, and they said that it was kind of rejected. They got some new images, but said that off the back of it, that there was actually some videos and footage that wasn't included in the original case that they weren't allowed to share, and they refused to share under the threat of national security risks, right? So then people were like, well, you've lied to us, first of all. In the report, you told us that this is everything. So, and we've just found out that this isn't everything. But if this is just a weather balloon, like you're telling us in the report, then why has this information been redacted, and why is the general public not allowed to see this footage? Is it because it actually proves that it's not a weather balloon? And that's exactly what people were saying, and everyone was just like, So ARROW has lost a lot of credibility and has lost a lot of respect, kind of straight off the bat. Anyway, I digress. We move forward. Her office confirmed on Tuesday to The Hill that there would be a hearing likely in November. In this last summer's headline-making House hearing on UAP, during which the former Air Force intelligence officer David Grush alleged the government was hiding technology of foreign or even extraterrestrial origin, Representative Tim Burchett requested an Inspector General of the intelligence community to investigate the claims further. But lawmakers have been frustrated with any progress since then. What a shock. With Burchett suggesting in April that he believes that the US government was involved in a, quote, cover-up of information on UAP. A Pentagon report on UAP released in March concluded that there is no evidence that the US has reverse-engineered extraterrestrial technology, pushing back on the claims that it's hiding off-world craft. Again, another thing that was just an absolute embarrassment. I believe there was a 64-page document released by Arrow and by the Pentagon, which outlined that there is no evidence from their extensive research and digging and investigations that there are any claims or any, reverse engineer programs to have ever existed. Even though in multiple other reports it's been confirmed that there are reverse engineer programs and that multiple people, and what I mean by multiple people is loads of whistleblowers who have come forward since, have said, I was part of this reverse engineer program, or I know of this reverse engineer program because I was high up enough to kind of see all the documentation on it. And then Arrow are like, yeah, but we've got nothing on it. We've got nothing on it. Again, it completely undermines the purpose of Arrow, which is to try and build up this level of transparency between the general public and the government. And clearly, the information from the government comes into Arrow and it just stops right there. And then it's filtered through a very heavy filtration system. And what comes out to the public is just utter bollocks. But that's where we're at. Unfortunately, well, hopefully, fingers crossed, in November, we might be able to get this hearing take place. We might be able to hear from very serious people and get some more testimonies. This is going to be absolutely enormous. And this could truly turn the tide of, getting some form of disclosure. Do I think it's going to actually speed up the process or help anything? No, unfortunately not. I just can't see that happening. But I really, there's a part of me that really hopes that this can actually do something as opposed to nothing at all. But I hand it over to you guys. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. While you're down there, be sure to jump scare the hell out of that like button if you have not already. Subscribe if you're new, because this channel is on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so please help us get there. Tickle my little bell so you get notified whenever we upload. We're uploading every single day on this channel, keeping you up to date with everything UFO, UAP, whether it be encounters, whether it be updates like this, or whether it just be laughing at the utter nonsense that is spewed out from Arrow. Anyway, I digress. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll speak to you later. Peace.